I would say so, yeah.
Hey there, Ralph Endres. Great to see you on the red couch and great to see you. I don't even know if we've talked already this year. Time flies so fast. Q1 is almost over. How are you?
Well, thanks, Angie. Yes, I'm fine. Yes, indeed, we did not talk a lot together this year so far. This changes now, which is fine. And yeah, I'm very curious what we are going to do now on this red couch. So,
Awesome. Now tell us a fun fact about yourself that people won't read about you on the internet.
but it's maybe not so much a fun factor for the audience, but at least it's a fun factor for me.
Uh-huh.
And I refer I refer to let's say my bicycle trip I did 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So that was my big adventure. I had a sabbatical, the first one and probably also the last one in my life. And then I decided to cycle from the most southern point in Europe to the most northern point in Europe, mainland, I have to say, roughly 7,500 kilometers with my tent and with my sleeping bag and so on. That was really nice. I discovered a lot of nice places. I met also quite nice people. There is maybe just a small example. When I was in Finland, in Lapland, actually, so sort of 500 kilometers before my trip ended, I saw an advert close to the road saying, visit the Swiss cafe in Munio. And Munio was on my way, so I said, "Okay, that's interesting." So I will have a stop there in Munio, and indeed, there is two Swiss persons that are running this cafe, real expats that are living there, fully integrated, and which is not so easy, I would say, in Finland because the language is pretty difficult to learn. But it was fantastic. I could eat some röbritorten, I could eat some Swiss chocolate, and I enjoyed that. Yeah, so that was a nice experience. So
That's
that's for me still today a fun factor, and I'm happy to think of that trip quite often.
so beautiful. And you also shared kindly enough a photo. So we will put that on our website where you are at the northern tip, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. The Cape.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Ralph, you're an accomplished professionals. We work together, I just counted, I think almost 15 years now. I remember when I initially met you, you were presenting about international health insurance, and I was so impressed with you. But we've been working together since on projects. So you're a complete expert in international health insurance, Swiss health insurance, and international pension plans. And you're my go-to person when I have a question on these topics. Why did you end up in this field?
By coincidence, I would say, or by mistake, we could also say. I was not born, and my first wish was then, oh, well, I want to be working in the insurance industry, such as to become a pilot. Certainly not. Of course not. So it was by mistake. Uh, to say it like that, after my studies, uh, I was looking for a job, and Swiss Life International was interested in a person speaking French. So that was the most important, that you could just
Okay.
speak French.
Okay.
So no skills were necessary. Uh, so, but you had to speak French.
You
So,
had a degree too.
so I was not too bad in French, but also not too good. So I said, okay, well, why not trying that? And that was actually the start of the insurance career, if you want to say it like that. Yeah, indeed.
That's very cute. I never know if I told you that I started my career also in an insurance company.
In
I
which one?
I used to work for Winterthur when it was still called Winterthur as
Okay.
an
Yeah.
intern at the time. And one of the things I always find funny is that I feel like they're still using the same forms that they used when I worked there, but now they're all digital. But change is not as fast in this industry.
Yes, I have to agree in that. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
that's true. That's true. Some
What,
things remained as they were at the time. True. Yeah.
so one of the things I admire about you, Ralph, is that these insurance topics they can become very complex across countries. So it's already I mean, it's already complex in a Swiss context, in a national context, but they can become very complex when we talk about international insurance, because every country obviously has different laws, different national statutes, etc. Now, when you think about your journey, can you talk a bit about, the challenges that you faced as a professionals, maybe some particular things that you would like to highlight from your career until today?
But I think we have to be honest on this worldwide knowledge when it comes to the various countries and the social security systems. It's impossible that you can understand how they work and that you can be a professional, but you can develop a certain feeling for the systems and an understanding also for those systems, so that it makes your life a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, I mean, what we do is to promote and to support systems that are, let's say, on another level. Those that fit to all the countries, they fit to expats or also to local employed persons that have access to such solutions. So I think when it really goes into details, we also need somebody in place in wherever it is, in the US, in Singapore, or where the expat is. So I think it's impossible to learn that. But we know that sometimes expectations also is a bit like that, that our clients think that we really are the perfect experts for for all the country, which is not the case. So
Yeah.
we have to stay modest on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's like, 200 countries. I mean, why don't you know all the
impossible.
social security systems in all of these countries and the health insurance and how it works, It should be
Absolutely.
easy.
I think nowadays artificial intelligence helps you a lot. I mean, not only to us, also of course to our clients, to get a good base knowledge on the systems, and also that you really can then maybe uh, well support the client in the right direction. But at the end of the day, you still need somebody on the spot in the host country. That's true. Yeah.
And we always have an individual case with an individual story and individual health record. So we also need to take care of that. It's
That's true. That's true. And what you learn with all the experience is that, you have to be careful here, you have to be careful there, and there could be a problem. Maybe you don't know it really, but it could be. And already this knowledge helps you then to really solve the case so that you don't forget something and then it would come back later to you with a complaint from the client. So I think that's also this sensitivity that you will develop over the years being in that business.
That is a really important point. And I think, sensitivity is like a good keyword for my next two questions. So I'm going to wrap them into one question, and then you can think about how you're going to answer
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
So that the one, one thing I would like to know, like if you were now, like say 30 years younger, what would you tell a younger version of yourself with your current knowledge about life and work? Things that maybe you wish somebody had told you when you were a younger professional. And the other one about is about global mobility managers. As you know, and HR professionals, obviously, I include them in this question. What do you think global mobility managers and HR professionals need to learn more in education with regards to the topics that you are an expert in? And why is that important?
Okay, maybe we start with your first question. And well, it's not so easy to really recommend something to younger people. Everybody's an individual, and there are different ways to be happy and successful in life. But if I look at my own career and if I ask myself, what could you have done in a different way? I would say, uh, don't stay on the same place too long when you think that you don't learn anything more on that. And that's also something I'm happy if my children really work on it, to say, okay, when you are young, you have to build a broad basis knowledge. You have to have the sort of the pillars, and hopefully in your career, in your life, you can bring then those pillars together, and that gives then, let's say, a good, yeah, a good mix of everything. So that's maybe something I did. I stayed too long on the same in the same job. Somehow also because I liked it, of course, but looking at that, I thought I could have learned many things in that time. And well, therefore, that might be maybe a recommendation. Now, looking at this challenging job of a mobility manager, uh, well, I think the difficulty or the challenge, let's say it in a positive way, the challenge for a mobility manager is that he's uh, confronted with different disciplines. So he has to talk to the insurance guys, as we are. He has to talk to the immigration responsibles, relocation, payroll, compensation, classical HR. I think it's a super interesting job, and you must have a very also there very broad knowledge. Probably you bring sort of a speciality with you, so you can build on. Maybe you come from taxes and can say, okay, the tax part I really understand perfectly well. So you can then sort of build up the other parts there. So I think that's the challenge and also difficult to really learn those different disciplines and also to understand what the needs of a assignee are. And I mean, maybe that goes then a little bit in also in your part, how to make an assignment a success. What do you need to do? What is important? It's not only technical parts, so it's also social parts. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't like to call them soft factors because that always sounds like something you don't need.
Mhm.
Because I think they're hard factors.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, when it comes to, for example, to international pension, we really have a responsibility, a duty of care as employers to make sure that our expats have a social security or international pension or something that replaces, let's say, a local security scheme in case, for example, they have an accident or in case they have a long-term disease while they're somewhere else, while they're living somewhere else. So I always stress this care aspect in my lectures, for example. And then I think, yes, you're absolutely right. You know, there's a number of disciplines that are relevant to do this job well. And sometimes we overstress the compliance aspects a bit too much. However, I think it's a good basis. Yeah, I think it's good if you understand tax. It's good if you understand immigration or social security as a basis to work in global mobility. But, you know, you could also come from a psychology background, for example. That could also work. So I think it's more the willingness to know, you know, when to pull in the experts. And then I think it's also, you know, really important, and I really like that about working with your company as well, with expat partners, not only with you personally, but also with your team. Everybody's just like that. You're very collaborative. So, you know, I never feel like I am stupid or something because I don't understand something. You would explain it to me in a way that I get it. And the same is true with, you know, with the actual clients, the company, the line managers, the expats, whoever, you know, you would talk to, you would make it reasonably understandable for them. And I think that is really an art that comes with years of experience in a profession.
Well, if I would say this is also the fun part of what we do. So to support our clients, honestly,
Yes,
it's not just
yes.
the business and it's part of the business, but it's nice if you can support somebody. And what we also feel in our sector is that our contact persons that come from the HR are always very grateful, as you just mentioned that. And that's nice. That's nice. If you can work in this world where you also feel that what you do is appreciated by your contact persons and by your clients. So that's what keeps us doing what we do.
Amazing. You're also really good at building community, but I'm not going to spill any secrets here. And
Maybe
and
not as good as you are, but
no, no, no. I mean, you have regular events for your clients and partners, and it's always a very nice event in Zurich, where I always say that the global mobility community comes together at Expat Partners on their terrace. So yeah, no, you have a lot of great things going on. I wonder, do you have any other events that you would like to share with us today?
well, indeed. I mean, we have our events, and these are the events we have had for many, many years, and we just repeat them. And they are known in the market and among our clients. One is our Terrassenfest for our clients, for our partners. And then we have our FIFA event. So
Yeah,
nothing to do actually with football. It's just called FIFA event because it's at the FIFA Museum in Zurich, Enge, taking place in November. Uh, Unfortunately, I do not get the date for the moment, but we are happy to provide the date. If somebody is interested anyway and sends us an email, then we are happy to invite then the person for this FIFA event
yeah,
that is dedicated to mainly to clients and of course also to potential clients.
yeah,
That's true.
amazing. We
Yeah.
will link to your website and your LinkedIn profile in the show notes, and also people can sign up to the newsletter of your company, where
Uh-huh.
you are one of the managing partners. Now, I was just wondering about one more question that might be interesting for some of my viewers. Usually, when you work mainly with companies, but I think also if individuals have any questions about their health insurance or pension, you have also a person who supports with that for individuals, right?
Yes, thanks for this question. And you're absolutely right, because we think it's individual business and group business are sometimes linked because we have people coming from companies that we support and then leave maybe the company or come back to Switzerland and have then a need for additional support. And then we are happy to support. That's exactly also what we do. And maybe also sort of a differentiating point that we say, oh, we just do the group business only, but we also support individuals of our group clients when they have a need. That's true. Yeah.
That's amazing. Especially for some people who might have been living in several countries for many, many years and now feel a bit lost, don't know anybody in Switzerland anymore when they come back. It's great to know. Well, Ralph, it was great to have you here on the red couch today. As always, a pleasure to talk to you, and I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead.
Thank you very much, Angie. It was a pleasure to talk to you and to have the opportunity to be on the red couch. I think that's, well, somehow a privilege, I would say. And yeah, all the best. And yeah, then I look forward to see you soon at the latest on our Terrassenfest.
Absolutely the
Okay.
latest. Okay, have a great
Thank you very
one.
much.
Bye, Ralph.
Bye bye, Angie. Bye bye.